You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this channel are of the host and not of Lady J Media. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What Up Baltimore TV. And if you really don't want to miss any of the shows, hit that notification bell and you'll get a message every time we come on. Now, we got it from here, so sit back, relax, and stay tuned.
Matter of fact, you can't go through it once you go back in it. Matter of fact, you don't go back in it unless you're going back in it over and over again, because it's like a revolving door that keeps saying, hey, come visit me. Even when you're doing good, you might get in a drive-by or a shootout, and even if you're the victim, you're still going to jail because your past criminal record and you weren't supposed to be near a gun or bullet or even almost dying. So although you survived, sir, we need to tell you you have the right to remain silent. Because you won't give us all the information that we need to know about when you almost died. But we're not concerned about that part. We want to know who was shooting out of your car when the other people were shooting at your car. We know it was someone shooting, even if it wasn't you. Who was it? So then there's that moment where I gotta decide, is do or die now. Do I keep it a G? Or I decide I don't want to ride now. I don't want to be street no more. I'm in a situation where I got 30 years over my head, and if this dude get me locked up, it won't be no more. So then there's that moment where I decide that I won't snitch, and I hold it down, and I keep strong to the street code, even though the streets don't love me. In fact, the streets might kill me. In fact, the streets might be the reason why I got this gun anyway. And then there's this moment where I realize it's all or nothing.
Everybody, good evening. My name is Dr. Lady J. I am here with Dreu. Now, y'all bear with me tonight because I can't even see. I'm sitting up here doing the show, but I did not want to not do the show because it's so popular and people are always like, looking for it to happen on Mondays and Thursdays. But unfortunately, I was bitten by a mosquito that closed my eyes. So I'm just slowly starting to get back to kind of seeing again, but I really can't see, Dreu. Like I'm trying. I'm trying.
I feel you, man. I hope
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. So y'all bear with me with these comments, and as I try to read the comments, and hey Kiwi, but going to put all the information up. Y'all know how this works. Tonight we don't have anyone calling in from any of the facilities. And some of you were asking about Monty. Before I get started, I did have a chance to speak to Monty. He's doing okay. They had a lockdown at the facility where he was at. And so that's why he hasn't been able to come on. But he wanted me to let everybody know that he said, hey. So Dreu, welcome to the show. What up, Baltimore? Welcome. And again, like I told you, this show I do is for people that are incarcerated, people that are coming home, and it just gives you an opportunity for us to say welcome home, if there's anything we can do for you, and then we learn more about you and what you would like to do moving forward. So let me see what he's saying. He said, oh no, I pray. Oh, thank you so much, because it's definitely been a journey here. It's been a journey. So Dreu, tell us a little bit about you. Hey, Darren, just came home. I think it's only been a few months.
What's up, man? Tell him I said what's up, man. Yeah, Darren, that's my guy, man.
Yep, it's only been a few months. And I also I always send out a mass text, Dreu, and some of the guys are like, oh, I know him. So there'll probably be other ones coming on too.
That's dope.
Yeah, he said, tell him this is DJ.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. We actually partnered. He wrote a few pieces for the magazine. So yeah, that's a close friend of mine. That's my guy. Man.
Okay, yeah, and I want to talk about that magazine too. Antoine. Hey, Antoine, send me your phone number because I'm supposed to be bringing you on the show too. So please send me your phone number. Darren said we go way back from New York.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Wow,
sir.
wow. You actually remind me of him. Y'all kind of look alike.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever told you that, but y'all kind of look alike. So, tell us a little bit about you and how long you've been home.
Well, my name is Dreu. First off, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
At this point, I've probably been home less than 30 days. We looking at 3 weeks. I'm currently on home detention and whatnot, but I'm an artist. I'm also the co-founder of First Reform Self, a self-help organization in which we provide self-help materials for men and women who are incarcerated. So my partner and I, we publish material, workbooks, magazines, free little worksheets we give out or whatnot, geared towards the incarcerated population to help them intentionally grow.
Wow. Like I said, every week when this comes on, this show comes on, I'm so amazed at the things you all are doing inside. And you also know Sean Gardner, right?
Dude, that's my guy, man. Shout out to Behind the Wall Mentors, man. Good people,
Yeah.
man. Good people.
Yeah.
Support what they doing, man. Support what they doing.
Mm-hmm. They come on quite a bit. He's probably listening or watching. His wife normally has him on the phone, but and you also know Bakari, right? Bakari,
yes, Bakari, that's big bro right there. Bakari, that's my big brother right there, man. He played a real influential role in me becoming a young man I am today.
Wow. And let's talk about that a little bit. How old were you when you were incarcerated, when you first got incarcerated?
So I got arrested when I was 23. I got arrested when I was 23 and ultimately wound up serving 10 years. And I'm now 23. Yes.
10 years.
Yeah,
Woo.
Unfortunately.
That's 10 straight years. No break, no nothing.
Yeah, nah, no break, no nothing.
Wow. Because I told you when I looked at your picture, I was like, how old is he? He, because you said you just came home and you had been in there for a while. I said he looks so young. Like, how old is he?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. But welcome home. And I know, like we talked about it on the phone, I know that a lot has changed since you were out, like before you went in. What are some of the things that you've noticed that's changed since you've been out?
Well, on the more lighter side, a more funny side, I was tripping with my daughter. I had to explain to her that before I went in, the remote control to the TV, it had numbers 1 through 9 to 0 right now. She handed me a remote with 5 buttons on it and expected me to navigate it. So that was a journey in itself.
Right.
On a serious note, man, I'm actually still checking the temperature. Navigated. I noticed like everything is social media now. And growing up, I've been used to a face-to-face kind of guy, you know what I mean? Word of mouth, genuine connections. And not to say that there's no hope for genuine connection through social media. It's just new territory for me. It was social media was around 10 years ago. We're not gonna play social media wasn't around. However, it wasn't like the focal point. It wasn't like now. Like if you don't have an IG, you out the loop. If you don't have an IG, you out the loop. So I'm just navigating this realm, learning how to be more hands-on and present myself, the best part of me.
I think you're doing good now. You just got out. You said you've been home like 3 weeks. You got more followers on IG than I do.
I want to shout out all my followers, my family and friends that's helping. It's not really work of mine. It's definitely family and friends really, throwing me the alley, and people's receptive to the work. So
thank you. But I like what you're doing because you're an artist. I want to, that's what I meant to do. While you're talking, you may see me looking down because I want to put some of your pictures up. But he's an artist, everybody. So I want to talk about, was that something that you started in prison, or were you an artist before you went in?
I was an artist before I went in. It's actually something, poetry and art been something that's been a part of me since childhood. I made the biggest mistake in my life when I silenced that in me. when I purposely buried that part of me and chose a different route. That was the biggest mistake. I'm glad that while incarcerated, forced to look within, search for a meaning, that journey, art and poetry been a part of that journey. So I've been doing art while I was in there. I actually, since home, I only actually did 3 pieces. So most of the work that you see, with the exception of 3 pieces, been work I did when I was inside. Um,
Wow.
yeah, 3 weeks. No, it was probably maybe 3 to 2 weeks because my release was kind of sudden. I was
Mhm.
released on home detention, so it was like it wasn't really like scheduled, but 2 weeks before I was released, I put on a show in back home in Brooklyn Navy Yard.
Okay.
Did a pop-up event and I was able to sell out everything I had available. Yeah, everything I had available for sale actually sold. So I was grateful for that. All the supporters that came out and helped. Yeah, and that's what I've been doing.
Wow. Is that a behind you? Is that art that you did that's behind you?
Yeah,
That
this is actually my latest piece. This is actually my latest piece I did.
okay.
She was actually finished last night, so she's just like air drying. But yeah, all my work in here is probably some in the background as well too. But yeah,
Okay.
that's my latest piece. She's actually drying up right now. Put a coat of varnish on her, trying to find her home.
Okay. And is art like therapeutic for you?
Art is exactly therapeutic. Art is I have a phrase that I've coined, art to be free. Art
Yes.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
art is more than just putting paint on the canvas for me. Markers on the paper is actually linked to not only physical but spiritual and mental freedom. So art to be
Mm-hmm.
free.
And so when you were inside, you just was that your way of escape? Because I know some people say they escape through books,
Yeah,
you know, reading,
yeah.
but was that your way of escape when you were just able to sit down and paint something?
Truthfully, it was one of.
Hmm.
I actually have a I look at my journey and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful
Yeah.
because I had a few outlets. I had a couple big brothers hands on, Bakari being one of them. Hands on to where I can go to. I had poetry, that was an outlet. I had my artwork, that was an outlet. But the topic is the art, and there'd be times where I would lock in for hours. Everybody going to the gym, going to the yard, and I'm just in my cell doing my thing, put the music on, and just I'm not there anymore. And
Wow.
actually,
Wow.
actually, in my opinion, some of where my greatest work was created. Mhm, mhm.
Was in there. Were you
Yeah.
in just one facility the whole time, or were you moved around?
I was in a few. I was in maybe 3 or 4 facilities throughout the 10 years.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, that's probably how everybody, the different guys know you.
Yeah.
Because a Kiwi said something on here. He said we have a mean network. We are like our own fraternity, and
Uh,
that's what I'm starting to see
that's real.
because
That's real.
yeah, when I think I'm introducing somebody to somebody else, they're like, I already know him or I already know
Yeah,
her.
yeah. That's. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Miss Lady J. Like when you in there, it's the circle is so tight knit because
Hmm.
it's easy to get like distracted and go the out. I have a few friends that unfortunately they turned to drugs, they turned to gang. You know what I mean? They allowed that situation to bury them deeper. You understand? So when we have
Yeah,
a group of guys that's really intentional about their growing, intentional about giving back, and really making a message out of their mess,
right,
that circle is tight. When we all compliment each other, man, it's all about building. And listen, we represent one another, and that's one of the biggest things. Like, so we hear that. We had a few conversations on my way out the door, man. You know what's up, man. Just represent yourself. You
right.
represent a lot of good men behind here trying to get that shot. So
Mhm.
it's deeper for a lot of us. It's deeper than just coming home and just being free, or coming home and just getting back into society. We understand that we represent a lot of good men behind us that may or may not have this chance and just fighting for it.
Right. Yeah. That is so true because when guys call in, like I could hear it in their voice when they see, brothers like you sitting on the other side, and I could hear it in their voice like they just want to get out. They want to know how that feels.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand what you're saying. Now we gotta take a commercial break and get into the business real quick because
Gotcha.
I ask the questions that people want, they be wanting to ask, but they don't want to put in the comments. So, are you married? Do you have a female in your life? You're a good looking brother. You have somebody in your life right now?
I do. I do have a wife. I have a wife. I live with my wife. I live with my brother. I mean, excuse me, my brother, my daughter, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, so y'all, that answers the question. Because sometimes when the shows are over, I get these little messages like, "Is he married? Is he?" So I said, let me get in a business real quick and get that out of the way.
I'm with
So,
you. I'm with you. Like
so
you got me blushing already, Miss Lady J. Come on, man.
listen, it's a shortage of men out here. So, women want to know, like they grab you coming out the gate. So, they want to know. We got to ask those questions. So, yes, y'all,
I hear
you
that.
know, but he might have some friends. And I forgot to ask a Kiwi that I meant to ask him. I was so busy talking to him. I meant to ask, Kiwi, are you with somebody? Because somebody did ask me about him. And I said, I don't know. I know he has children, but I don't know, about his personal life. We was talking so much. But anyway, it's a shortage out here, Dreu, and
And I
women want to know. They want to know.
understand.
So we have to ask those questions. So everyone, he is taken. He has a wife and a child. How old is your child?
My daughter's 10. My
Oh,
daughter.
she's 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So he got a 10-year-old and he got a wife. So next subject. Let's move on, everybody. We got that information. So
Hey,
yeah, so
let's cool down. Let's cool down the seat a little bit, Miss Lady J. Let's cool it down.
yeah, so we got it. So let me see. Shahana said such a talented man.
Thank you, Sean.
Shahana said,
Thank
I hope
you.
I'm
You don't
I
mind.
hope
Thank
I'm saying the name right. Oh, okay. Now, ladies, okay, we said he is single as a Pringle. All right,
you.
now we might have to bring a
Yeah.
case back.
Yeah.
We
And my
got to bring
man,
him back.
and my man Fit. Check out his Supreme Fitness, man. Check out his
Yes,
workout. My man
yes.
doing his thing, man.
Yes, he works out every day, y'all. So listen, but yeah, okay, we'll talk. We might have to bring you back. So because it's people asking about you, so they may have some other questions that they want to ask you about. But anyway, we talking to Dreu tonight, everybody. So now, Dreu, tell us. You also said that you do poetry, spoken word. You do that also.
I do. I do. I actually haven't really got into like spoken word or any live performance. Um it's kind of like a thing I'm shy about, but I actually published a book. I actually, while incarcerated, all my work, like I said, I've been home 3 weeks, so now I'm just trying to
Wow.
just make impact while out. But
Yeah.
everything, all my work, everything I've done, all the books I published, magazines, was done while I was in there. So I
Wow.
actually have a poetic memoir. It's my life in poem form. It's
Hmm.
Silent Speaker.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I write poetry. Yeah, I write poetry.
There's a whole poetry I don't know if I want to call them a team, a troupe, or whatever, in Baltimore. They travel around doing shows. One of the guys actually does a show on my station. I got to get you and him connected.
Yeah, link us. Link us. That'll be dope.
Yeah, and a Kiwi too. I got to get all of y'all
That's my
connected.
man. That's my man.
Yeah.
Fun story. Fun story. Backstory. That's when, I don't know if you remember, bro. If you listen in, tell me if you remember this, man. That's actually where me and the Kiwi first met, man. We was both clerks in the school department, and
Mhm.
it was a writing class. We had a mutual friend, Miss Bracken, Miss Ann Bracken, Miss Magadon. They came in, hosted the writing class, and that's where me and Kiwi we first met. That's where we actually fought. We seen each other in passing, but that was
Mhm.
the beginning of us forging our relationship, man. So
Wow.
we've been in this for a couple, at least I want to say 7 years now, about like 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
And you know what I really like is the camaraderie you all have, the ones that are out. And
Mm-hmm.
I was so mad because Saturday they had a big picnic. They do this picnic every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where every, you know, with brothers and sisters that was incarcerated, they do a real big picnic. Everybody comes together, and I couldn't go because I couldn't see. I was so mad because some, you know how you be looking forward to going to some stuff, and then the day came, and I thought about it, but I was just like, no, I better stay home.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the camaraderie when everybody gets together, and it really is like a fraternity, like, you know, and everybody's talking and dapping each other up, you know, and the support that is given. Like I told you when I was talking to you, the level of support that's out there, like Ray was saying last week, it's just no excuse for people to come out and mess up, because everybody, that whatever that code is that y'all have when you inside and you say I'm gonna look out for you, and you know when I get out, they're doing that out here. So I really really love that. And when you are not when your home detention is over, you'll actually get to see that,
Yeah, I
you
look
know, to see how
forward
it
to it.
happens.
I really do. I look forward to it.
Yeah, because it's so much, you know, for y'all to get involved in, and we need our black men. We really do, because you see the crime that's going on,
But that's
you know, with these young boys, and they need black men in their life. A lot of them don't have that male role model in their life, so they definitely need that. Now, what do you see yourself doing? You know, going forward now that you're out.
so the game, man. The game plan, man, is to be a successful artist, you know, while simultaneously keep on pushing first and for himself to the next level. So I'm
Hmm.
currently, you know, just pushing the artwork, trying to make a living off of that, obviously. And with first and for himself, still make an impact. I want to transition from, you know, helping the guys, because I probably right now, probably shy of about like 70 guys that I still work with, and
Oh,
we
okay.
mail out free material that actually completed our, because we do a mentorship. We got a whole program that we do. They get the workbooks, they get it, you know, they send them back the essays, and it's
Uh-huh.
like a lifetime thing. You know, once you win, you win. So periodically I send them some free material. What's up? What's going on with you? So I got about like shy of 30 guys that I work with. Continue to build on that, nurture that. Obviously that's a heavy load, you know, but
Mhm.
one thing that's real important to me is I'm trying to figure out a way to expand. And what I mean by expand is, now that I'm home, how can I reach them before they get in? How,
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean? How can I connect them before they come in? And I
yeah.
know it's quick answers we can throw out there or whatnot, but the game, I'm a get in the mud kind of guy. So, you know, once this bracelet come off, the idea is to, you know, visit centers, visit, you know, network with my guys that's already doing it, you know.
Right, right, right.
Bakari, behind the wall
Mhm.
mentors, a Kaylee, gentlemen like that, link up with them. Hey, what the temperature look like, man, and see
Mhm.
where I fit in, and just
Yeah,
do my part. That's it, you know. But
yeah.
aside from that, is the name of the game is, like I said, to push the artwork, push first and for himself, you know, and be an influence in my daughter's life. How about that?
Definitely. Listen, I love it. Tell us more about that, the magazine, because I do want to hear more about that.
So all right, first and for himself, the whole idea, here's go one of them right here. Let me go ahead.
Okay.
Available Amazon. Everybody check it out. So the idea is just the man to give the guys some positive entertainment in a nutshell.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Give the
Hmm.
guys some positive entertainment. And first and for himself, just a backstory, first and for himself. True change starts within. That's the whole concept of the organization. We believe that change starts with the individual. So once we accept that, the question lies, all right, where do we change? You know what I mean? Like, where do we start this process once you take ownership? Like, all right, change is in my hands. So
Hmm.
self is broken down into an acronym. S stands for spiritual intelligence, and this is finding purpose in your existence. E is for emotional literacy. L is for leadership qualities, be it leader over yourself, a family, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
organization, a company, or whatever. And F stands for financial stability. And I wholeheartedly believe that is the key to independence. So if you're looking for it, financial stability, financial independence, if you may, is the way to it. So the magazine is filled with material that speaks to that, you know. I
Wow.
interview, and if I may, I also make it a point. I also to make it a point, because prior to 3 weeks, I wasn't where I'm at now, but I always made it a point to interview someone who went home and was successful. So the last interview we did in Volume 5 was with a good friend of mine, Troy Ferguson. He went home, started a trucking company. He also runs his own little clothing line and stuff like that. So the whole idea is to show guys in there that success outside of these walls is possible. What you need to do right now is prepare yourself. You know what I mean? That's the whole, you know what I mean? In a nutshell, that's the message I'm trying to send, you know?
Now, who you came up with this concept and writing it yourself, or did you have people helping you?
Oh yeah, this is my thing. This is me.
Wow, I'm just always amazed. Like my mouth is always hanging open. Like what? Because I'm listening to everything that you're saying, and you know, people actually go to college to be trained to write and do stuff like this. And for you to come up with a booklet, and you said it's on, they can get it on Amazon.
Yes, Amazon, or check out the website firstreformself.com.
Okay, I'm gonna have to put this in the comments too, so we can make sure that everybody, y'all go check out that book. That's really interesting, and I need to have you come back, to talk about that, because some of the stuff that you mentioned is things that we really need to talk about in our community that we don't have a discussion about. And so, yeah, I'm definitely going to have you back. So with that book, I think, and this is just me talking, this is just me, but I think that there are, you know, brothers that you can actually connect with who may be able to help you to push that a little bit more, you know, and really show you how to get into the area that you're trying to get into. I was telling you about Rectify. That's an organization that's really good. And Hamza, he has people that he's working with. So there's so many different people that are doing stuff that may be able to actually push that and show you the direction you need to go into. And hopefully it can get into the detention centers.
Right.
You know,
right.
That's a whole nother story. But you know, I go in and out of detention centers working with these youth, and they need something like that. I'll just say that they need something. You know,
and I agree, man. And that's the game plan, man, is to really try to figure out how do we knock down them walls, because you know, not that that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? It's clear walls. You know what I mean? Anything that is designed to help or make a difference, it seems like it's shunned in those. You know what I mean? But like that's another conversation. But the game plan is trying to figure out how do we knock down those walls. And iron, I've always been a firm believer that iron sharpen iron. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for the good men who invested in me. I wouldn't, you know, the CLAP program. Shout out to Bakari. He know what I'm talking about. The CLAP program. You know, the writing program that we was in, these things really shaped me who I am. So that experience you mentioned, that people go to colleges and stuff, I kind of had that experience. It wasn't the traditional route, but I had good men. I had good solid men who molded me and helped me reach the point where I am now. And I think iron sharpen iron. So the idea is always to be around people, yes, who can help me take this to the next level. How can we pour into this, you know?
Yeah, and the only advice I would give to you is not to trust everybody, because these people now, they will take your stuff and walk away with it just like they wrote it. That's why I stand in front of the camera and call them out every time they try to do something. I call them out because they take your stuff and walk away. So you have to, like, you got to kind of be careful who you talk to, who you share it with, you know, all of your ideas and stuff, because people different now. They just different. And, you know, that what you have, and just from talking to you before, you know, I know that what you have can really become something. So, you know, just be careful who you talk to and who you share your, you know, your dreams with, because these people, they laugh and grin in your face and they'll be taking notes while you talking. So, you know.
How about that? I'm with you. That's real though. For real.
I listen. My trust meter is very low, so you know, I'm always like paying attention and watching what I say. But with you, the other thing I wanted to ask you is something that we always have a conversation about, and normally it's on our Thursday shows, where the Thursday show is more of guys that are calling. They're inside and they're just calling, and so we don't really see them on the screen. But a lot of stuff that they talk about is like relationships. You know, how to how sometimes it's hard for them, being in a relationship, not being able to get to your woman when you want to, if something's going on, or help financially. What kind of things can you share with brothers that may be listening to you right now, as far as how you dealt with that situation?
Right. Great question. Great question. Every day, both you and your partner have to choose the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. Every day, you and your partner has to choose the relationship. It's not like a often, at least for me, I speak for myself. I
Mm-hmm.
found myself, I made the decision to be or not to be with somebody one time. So
Mm-hmm.
I accept every single day I had to make that decision. Like, yes, I'm with, because what that comes with, it comes with a how I should move. It should come, what should I say? What should I not say? You know what I mean? What
Right.
am I considering? And uh having a strong foundation spiritually is
Mm-hmm.
really, honestly, is really what got through. You know what I mean? If that connection, that spiritual and that emotional connection isn't there, you really don't, you know what I mean? You really don't have anything, because the physical is obviously
Right.
absent. So
Right.
whatever that looks like to you, be it, religion, be it spirituality, be it Christian, back to religion, Christianity, Islam, whatever Islam, whatever it may be, the idea is to pour into that and nurture that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was tough. It was far from easy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, it was far from easy. But we both had an equal investment, and every chance I got, I just reminded those two things. You know what I mean? Make the choice every day, and nurture the spiritual foundation.
Mm-hmm. Now, how long were you? You got married while you were in prison, or were you married before?
I did.
Oh,
5 years. So I've been
wow.
married for 5 years, and then 5 years into my sentence, I met my wife.
And she waited. See that, and you know what? I have to give a shout out to these women because I talk to the guys and I just hear how long women wait
Mhm.
for the man to come out, how they hold you down. And the one thing that I see, Drew, that I just love is that when the guys come out, I see how they show them the love, and you don't see them out here like running around doing stupid stuff. Like they are really letting that woman know, I appreciate what you
Mhm.
did for me.
See,
Like it's us. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. See, Miss Lady J, for me personally, it's deeper than love. I think love is like, yeah, I could show you love. I could this. It's more of a loyalty thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I think for me personally, in my experiences from this 33 years in this world, I think loyalty cut deeper than love. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Yeah.
sometimes love hurts if they may. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
love can
Yeah.
do. So for me, it's more of a loyalty thing, man. Like
Yeah.
out of debt. You know what I mean? And not in the sense of like, oh, I feel obliged or something like that. It's more them willing type of things. Like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm loyal to you. You proved it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's listen. I know they get tired of me saying this, Drew, but I was just like, I love black love, and shout out to y'all to be doing it. It don't work for me. Like it's not something that I feel like I could do,
with
be in
you.
that type of relationship. I don't know that I could do it because I just got to see you sitting on the sofa, over here for a little bit or whatever us going. Like I don't know that I could actually do that, but I love when I hear these stories of these women who believe in their and see, this is why I talk about it, because in our community, what's being shown and what's being said is that as black women, we don't hold our men down. We're not there for them. We're the angry black woman. The men, they cheat, they come out, they go back inside, and so I try to do this show to
Mhm.
let people see that that's not what it is.
That's
That's not everybody's story.
right.
And now I've been doing this for a while, and everybody that's come on here, y'all all saying the same thing.
Right.
So I want people to see our black men and see that know they have learned, and people can be reformed while
Mhm.
they're inside. They can change, and okay, now they have a family, and they're supporting their family. So thank you for that. I love hearing that week after week, because that's how we change the narrative of how people think about us, as men and women, as Black men and women. And how excited was your daughter when you came home?
Oh man, literally, and when I say this little girl, is a little firecracker when it comes to, she always got something to say.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Literally had her speechless. She was just looking at me and just shocked. Like, I did a little fake little surprise, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Hid behind the counter and all of that other stuff, or whatever the case may be, is
yeah.
popped up and stuff, and then she was just stuck,
Wow.
obviously embraced me, kissed me and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that or whatnot, whatever. That's my little twin, I say, my little best friend, man. So
Wow.
it was beautiful, Miss Lady J. It
That's
was.
good. And the great thing is, again, when the brothers and sisters have families to come home to, because some people that I talk to, they don't have any families to come
Right.
home to.
This is real.
And they end up going getting in trouble and going right back inside, so or it's been guys that I've worked with and they just somehow disappear. I don't know, what happens to them, but
Mhm.
they don't have any family, they don't have that support. And it's so important. And somebody is asking, are you still writing books?
I do still write books. I'm actually working on another collection, a poetry collection, and I'm also working on a graphic novel for my daughter. So
Oh, wow, wow, wow. That's good. That's cool. Does your daughter have any of her own little activities that she likes to make things? Is she a painter, or does she
well,
draw
we,
or anything
we
like
just
that?
got. I guess. Oh, obviously, Daddy's having an influence on her. You know what I mean. So over the
Hmm.
weekend, she insisted that I buy her some paintbrushes and the
Oh,
easel.
okay.
So I
Okay.
mean, yeah, and some paint or whatever. So
Hmm.
I did that. Prior to me and her actually, you can also find it on Amazon. We partnered, we got together and wrote a children's book.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Daddy's Always in My Heart. And
Oh.
um, yeah, it's so for backstory, for some years, I just avoided answering the question, where are you? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I found, until I couldn't, you know what I mean? Until
Yeah.
I couldn't. And that happened around like 7 years old. And it was
Hmm.
like, we're not gonna talk about nothing else until you
Hmm.
answer this question or whatnot.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I had to probably one of the toughest things, probably one of the most scared. And keep in mind, you know,
Yeah.
I'm housed with some of the most, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm more scared explaining to this little 7-year-old girl where am I? So I had
Wow.
a conversation, and what I've learned is, as adults, we underestimate um children emotional literacy. Like we underestimate their ability to understand and
Hmm.
manage complex emotions. And
Yeah.
she taught me that. She taught me
Yeah.
that, and we had the conversation. She understood, and it was beautiful. We actually turned that conversation into a book. And
Wow.
check it out.
Wow.
Daddy's in My Heart.
Oh. And
Yeah.
that's on Amazon?
Yeah, this is on Amazon. This is on Amazon as well too. Daddy's Always
Okay.
in My Heart. But yeah, so that was one of the biggest projects we worked on together.
Mhm.
Um, she liked doing hair. She liked doing makeup. Everything a little 10-year-old
Yeah.
girl want to do. So yeah, that's what she
Right,
is.
right.
Mhm.
And that's good. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I had gotten a call a few weeks ago from someone whose her son's father is incarcerated, and the son is now, I think he's like 7 or 8, but he's now asking where's daddy.
Mhm.
Because she's been saying something like, he moved to another state. So he's like,
Mhm.
well, what state is he in?
Right,
Where is he? He's asking all kinds of questions.
right.
And I was explaining to her that he's a very intelligent little boy, and you have to sit down and explain it to him and his level and on his level and in his language to help him to understand where his dad is at. Because the more you lie and you try to cover it up, it just gets messy.
It
You know?
does. It gets
Yeah,
messy. It gets messy, and the last thing you want to do is um develop a sense of like a mistrust in your children.
yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? You're supposed to be that safe haven. But if I may, I'm not sure if you do, if you have a connection with this person and can reach them, I will humbly suggest that dad have that conversation. If
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
that if it, obviously we know it's complicated,
Mm-hmm.
phones, access and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
If it's something that dad can't, you know what I mean, can't
Mm-hmm.
over visit over phone call, then mom. But I think it will be better if dad have that conversation first, coming from dad, because even with
Yeah.
mom risking it, it's still a level of I didn't hear it from the horse's mouth type of, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean, like you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I would
Yeah.
suggest dad have that conversation respectfully.
Yeah, and I think boys are different than girls and how they may interpret it or handle
Mhm.
it. So that is a good suggestion for the dad to do it, and that's probably a conversation that I need to have one day too,
I think
with
that's
some
an
of
amazing
you.
topic. I think
Yeah,
it'd be an
well, we
amazing
talk
topic.
about that because there are a lot of parents, men and women, who are raising children and their spouse or partner is incarcerated. You
I would
know,
say, I would say, I would say this, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this: being incarcerated is not an excuse to be in your child's life.
hmm
Not an excuse to be in your child's life or having an influence. I'm
right.
grateful to my situation. Obviously, it's not like that for everyone or whatever, but thanks to my daughter's mother and
hmm
my wife as well too, I've been
hmm
able to maintain an influence, not just be in her life, but be
Right.
influential in her life throughout these years. You know, so,
Yeah.
I personally stand behind that. Darren would know, but like being a father is not being a father while incarcerated. You don't get a pass for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you
Right.
don't be in
Hmm.
your children's life.
Yeah. And I think that especially men need to understand that, we females, we love our dads.
Mm.
So you can be incarcerated, we still love you. You could be a crackhead on the corner, we still love you. Like we still see
I love
greatness in you because you're our dad. And
right.
so I think that's what especially men have to remember that, like, I know it's hard, and I know in some situations there have been men who don't want their children to even come and see them, and that's their choice. But
Mm-hmm.
I think you still have to have that conversation,
I agree.
and at least give your child the opportunity to know and understand what's going on, because your child is going to love you unconditionally regardless.
Right.
That's just the way it is, and you can show love from prison, and your children, they still going to love you. I see it all the time. And some people may not understand it, but the children, the child and parents love is a different thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so adults may look at you and say, "Oh, I hate him," or "I hate her." I don't. The kid's not looking at you like that. They love you unconditionally. So hopefully that helps somebody tonight. And we definitely have to come back and have that particular conversation, because I think that is really, really important. And Kay Allen says, "I'm so full and happy right now. I love seeing y'all make it home." Wow, Kay, thank you. Yeah, we do too.
Thank you,
We
Kay.
like to see everybody coming home and doing great. I'm gonna do a reunion show close to the end of the year where I bring different people on and
Everybody tune in. Yeah, yeah.
get
I need to catch
updates.
up with my guys anyway, man.
Yeah, get some updates and see how everybody is doing. Now, I wanted to tell you this too, because since your daughter wrote a book, um I do a show it's called a kidspreneur show, where
Okay,
the kids come on and they actually show, like my niece was on a couple weeks ago. She makes beaded bracelets and necklaces.
that's dope.
And
That's
so it's their show. They get to come on and talk about what they're making, or whatever it is they want to share, and people buy from them, and it's a way to just kind of help them and boost them. So I would love to have you and your daughter on that show to talk about her book,
it
and
happened.
maybe, yeah, tell us a little bit about her book, how she wrote it, and all of that. It's only about 30 minutes, but
I'm
we have them on, and it's their show, and I do that on Wednesdays. But Dreu, anything you want to tell us before you go? It's been so great talking to you, and I'm glad that you're home and everything. You walked into a family. I do want to ask you this before you go, though. How are you dealing with your mental health, with going from being in a facility to being home, and you got a family?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It's an understatement when I say it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
understatement when I say it's a challenge. And this pressure is put on by myself. You know what I mean? Because I set, a high standard. I set the bar high, and
Yeah.
um, so yeah, that's that. However, I'm making it. I'm making
Yeah.
it. And that's the name of the game. It's just like in there. Every morning you make that decision. Every
Hmm.
morning you make that decision. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Less than 30 days in. I'm doing well,
Yeah.
and that's that.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, families, if when your loved one comes home, just show them that support and love. And I say this a lot too, that we have to learn how to pull back and slow down a little bit because we're used to this pace and everything the way
Mhm.
nothing stopped for us. But you had 10 years of where it stopped, So you're coming back, just like you said, the smallest thing about a remote,
Mhm.
So you're coming back and you're trying to like pick up everything. And we all around you have to remember to be patient, you know because we may be talking about something or sharing something, you trying to catch up, to keep up with what we're saying. And so I think that's something that we're all learning in the show as well,
Mhm.
to take our time and be that support system. So if anybody is watching, and I know a lot of you will watch this later on, and thank you everybody who's been supporting the show. Like it's been amazing. Um thank you so much. Anybody who Oh, and I meant to say this before I leave too, Drew. I had gotten asked to come to Africa, right? And
Okay.
one of the things that they want me to do in this African tour is to visit the prisons over there.
Okay.
And I was just like, I think they think that I don't know what they think I can do when I come through, but they were just telling me how bad the prisons are over there, where it's like 10 to 20 people in a cell, is dirty. And, they were saying that compared to what we have over here, it's like a hotel compared to what they have over there.
Right.
They want me to come through and visit. So after the talk show, I'm going to be doing that, actually, taking a trip and
Okay.
going over there. But that's as a result of this show, people watching the
Wow.
show. And so the things that you all say, I don't take all the credit myself, but just I think people hearing your stories and
Mhm.
everybody coming out and being so transparent. So thank you for that. And like I told you on the phone, I'm here if you need to call and talk, or you got a question. No question is stupid. If you don't understand something, or you need help or connections, just you know how to reach me.
Yes,
Um,
man.
yeah, definitely give me a call. And anything you want to share with us before you go, and I'm going to put your IG up here too.
Okay. Aside from follow me, obviously support me on Instagram. Aside from that, I just want to double down on what you just expressed yourself. If any of the viewers have somebody who's coming home, who just recently come home, man, patience is the key, man.
Hmm.
Patience is the key, as well as nurturing. You know what I mean? And a while back, um I took on a definition of patience that really changed my perspective. Sometimes people misunderstand as patience as sitting back and just doing anything and just letting events or whatever's happening. Patience is doing the right thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
sometimes it may call for you to, hey, listen, try this or try that. Sometimes it may call for you just to let things play out or whatnot, but just be patient with us, and as far I got a message, I'm not sure if the guys inside would be able to tune in, or if our viewers got somebody inside. What got me through the last 3 years was probably one of the not one, but the toughest time of my life throughout
hmm,
like, just my entire the last 3 years. And what kept me going was my refusal to allow like those bars, that prison, to define my potential. You know what I
wow,
mean? Like, you are who you are no matter wherever you are,
mhm,
So invest in that. If you in there, if you got a craft, if you have a skill, if you have a passion, whatever it may be, pour into that. Use that time. Everything I am, I really appreciate it's borderline overwhelming like
Mm-hmm.
support, the love that I'm getting from different places or whatnot, whatever. And it's a little overwhelming, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly. But I always say that this is not something I just started doing. This is something I've been, crafting for the last 8 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Out of the
Right.
8 years, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
waiting for my time. My workbook, my organization. This is something. It was easier for me to run it in there than it is out here. If that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I guess
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say is, for the guys that's in there, man, do your thing, man. Don't let those bars define you, man. Be you.
Right. And Dreu, also something that you just said that was powerful, and I hope people caught what you just said, that you're getting a lot of help out of here, but it can be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And so even as we see that, I think that we have to I think somebody was sending you a message on Twitter. I think that and that's, you're teaching me that too, because sometimes we want to help so much, like we see you coming out and everybody's jumping in there, everybody wants to help and make sure you got this and you got that. And again, we got to just slow down just a little bit, and also use our words and communicate and
Exactly.
ask if it's a good time. Is it a good time? You know, uh, and you the same way. Let people know, like, what, hey, I appreciate it, but give me a minute. Give me a few minutes or something. Give me a couple of days or something like that. That's something that I had to learn to do. Even in my own personal life. Because the stuff I do people just come from everywhere and it's overwhelming, and you try to accommodate everybody and it gets to be too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, please, when you feel like it's too much, make sure you fall back, give yourself some time. Because I would think, me personally, what I think would be the hardest is to come out and you already have a family, because you know what that entails, having a wife, a child, a home, like
I
that
learned,
is a lot.
learned quick. I learned quick. I thought I knew.
Oh my goodness, it is a lot. That's work in itself. And I think that that's why I was asking you, like, how are you dealing with everything?
Mhm.
Because you walked into people helping you, you walked into it. Not that any of it is bad,
Mhm.
but it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
It is, but you know what, Miss Lady J, I guess for most men, we surprise ourselves with what we do, what we can do when we have to. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? It's
mhm.
more. It's just one of those kind of situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
must. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's a must. Though it's challenge ridden. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah,
challenges,
yeah.
whatnot. We
Mhm.
adjust and we make it happen.
Yeah, because it's really the power of the mind.
Of course,
It's
of
the
course.
power of the mind.
Of
What are
course.
you gonna deal with, and are you gonna let this overtake you, or are you gonna overtake it?
Right.
That's the whole thing. And
I'll
I
say,
think when people learn that, yeah,
yeah.
when people learn that, you're able to deal with a lot of things. But I just, I really wish you a lot of success. I see you on TikTok. Let me say this, and I'm not trying to put pressure on you or anything, but there are some people, and you probably heard this before, there are some people who have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are some people who have it.
Yeah.
And it's not that the other people don't, but
Yeah.
there's some people that have it. It's like you can look at them and you're like, okay, they got it. A
Yeah.
KB is another person.
Yeah.
You know, both of you have that kind of, it's almost like a star power. And I told you what the secret is, of doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
A part of that secret.
Yeah.
But both of you have that star power. And
Thank
so you have something that it's like a magnet, and you're going to have to accept the fact that that's in you, and you are like a magnet that people are going to be drawn to, and you're going to be trying to figure out, like, what did I do, what did I say?
you.
But you have it. That's why they're doing it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
That's why they're doing it.
you.
Yeah. So, I watch your videos. Thank you, Kay. I mean, I'm not Kay, a Kiwi. I can't see y'all. I'm trying to see. But a Kiwi, and I watch you. And the other thing is the consistency of what you're doing. And I see in your videos how you're challenging yourself to do something different. I can also see that some of the stuff you're doing, it's like a little out of your comfort zone, but I see you doing it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I talk about when I say the star quality, the it quality. And so I really see you going far in what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, man, is to challenge yourself. See, everything I've done this far got me to where I'm at. So if I'm trying to reach a further destination, I got to switch it up and step outside my comfort zone. So
Exactly.
what this journey looks like. That's what the next chapter of this journey look like. So for those tuning in with me during the journey, you're going to see me stepping outside my comfort zone. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be. Like, live life. You did your time. Live life now. Enjoy it. Enjoy your daughter, because we only get to raise these children one time, you know. And so, you know, enjoy your daughter, enjoy your wife, just enjoy life, everything, because you've missed out on a lot, you know, in 10 years. But you're still young, so you can still recover a lot of stuff, you know, as far as love and just doing fun stuff, crazy. You can still do those things. And so just enjoy life is what I'm saying. You know, don't get too bogged down with work and all of that, but give yourself a chance to just enjoy life and, you know, be silly sometimes and, you know, just have fun, you know. That's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming on. I'm definitely going to have you on again because I want to talk about your workbook. Do you know Marco?
Marco, yeah, I know Marco. That's my guy, man. Yeah, I know Marco.
Okay.
He was Sean Garner. That's my guy, man.
Yes. Okay. Wow. Marco.
Yeah, don't he have a book, The Missing Link?
Yeah. Yes.
Check it out, man. My man put a lot of work into that.
Yes, he's been on here a few times and people bought his book. Yeah, I got to get all of y'all on here together because everybody knows each other. But yeah, Marco, I love that dude because he is just so, he sends me, you know, he's uplifting me, sending me uplifting messages on the GTL. And I'm just like, wow, he's inside, you know, he's sending me uplifting messages. But that's a good brother, a really, really good brother. Him, Sean Gardner is, I don't even know what words I can use for Sean. Like, Sean is amazing. And when I talk to him, it's like a part of my heart hurts because I know that he's looking at all this time. And I'm like, why don't they let this brother go? Like, it's so many things.
Hands down, probably doing more than a lot of men out here. You know,
yes,
not for himself, not for his family, for the community. Yep. You know what I mean? So much your nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, and stuff like that. I told you, our last big event, we partnered with Behind the Wall Mentors. We was out West Baltimore. We gave away 73 bikes, man. We gave away 73, and he had a big hand in that. You know, he had a big hand in that, yo. That's why I say shout out to Behind the Wall Mentors, man. Y'all see an event, y'all see something they doing, that's something you can support, man. If you really making a change, if you're making a real change and investing in people, ground level, real time, that's what they doing.
Definitely support them. They did a back to school appreciation program for the teachers that, like I told people, I'm not a crier. If I cry, that means I'm getting ready to fight. But I was at the event, I'm boo-hooing, like I'm crying because I'm like, oh my goodness, I could not believe how beautifully decorated it was. The food, it was tables of gifts for children, for teachers. They gave out plaques. I'm like, how are these brothers doing this from behind the wall? This is unreal. It was so beautiful.
That's that fraternity we was telling you. Network.
Yes.
That is.
Yeah. It was beautiful. So, you know, and Bakari was a part of that as well because they do Beyond the Walls. And then Bakari also has his own group. I forgot what it's called now, but you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, Drew, these brothers, get involved with them because they got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. Yeah. And I'm really, I just want to say I'm proud of all of you for changing that narrative about how people speak about our Black men. And yes, I do. Some people say, you know, you're always focused on the Black man. Well, I have a son, you know, and every day that I wake up, you know, I'm a mother. I never, you know, living in the city, you're constantly worried about when you're going to get that phone call if something happened. So this is why I focus on that, because I'm trying to change that narrative about how people look at our Black men and our boys. And so every week, y'all seeing men coming on here every single week that's doing their thing. They coming out. And they doing their thing. Like I'm telling you, so I'm so proud of you for all the stuff that you're doing, and even the way you're handling things in this short amount of time that you've been out. And shout out to your wife. I hope to meet her one day. And also tell your daughter, get ready, because I'm getting ready to put her on the show. We got to see her book.
Yeah, she's a star her own right, man. I'm telling you.
She has to be. Look at her dad. Like, she has to be.
How about that? Thank you. How about that?
Yeah. She probably has your whole personality. I can only imagine. Like, she probably has that. But thank you so much, Dreu, for coming on. And y'all check out his IG, Art by Dreu. You'll go in there. You'll see all of his art. And they can purchase it, right? They can purchase the art.
They're available.
Yep. You can purchase his art. So, everybody, make sure you tune in on next Monday. And if there are any females, now listen, ladies, I don't know what's going on. Y'all letting the men just take over. But come on. I know some of you that's been incarcerated. Don't be afraid. Come on out. Talk, let us know. We listen, we just here to have fun and encourage you. But if you are if you've been incarcerated, or maybe you're a family member and you're listening and you have someone inside who's incarcerated, we normally have people that call in on Mondays. We didn't have anybody today. But Thursday night, we do have people who call in on Thursday nights, and that's pretty much what that show is about. So you can feel free to call in when we put the number on the screen. You definitely get your family member on the phone. We just want to say hi to them. We want to encourage them. We want to see if there's any way we can help them. Just bring them on. And so that's what we're here for. Monday nights, this is the night when we show you the brothers and sisters who are out here. They came out and they rocking and they doing their thing. So, Dreu, you've been added to the list of the people that's out here doing your thing. And let me see. Okay, we said, I'll connect you with some lady. Thank you. Okay, we talking about. So listen, everybody have a good night. Have a great night. I gotta go rest my eye because it's
get you some rest, please.
Yes. And Dreu, we will talk this week. I'm gonna call you probably tomorrow. And we will talk. Let me see, who's that? Somebody just left a message. Oh, Ray. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Okay, Ray, what's up, man?
That's right, yeah. And Ray. I thought I was doing the introduction. And he's like, I know Ray. Okay. Yeah. So, and Ray was on last week. So listen, everybody. Dreu, have a good week, okay? And I will give you a call.
Do the same.
He said, my man Dreu.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we definitely wish you much success. I already know you're going to be successful. I already know that. So I just, like I said, I'm here if you need me. Give me a call. All right?
Will do. You have a good night. Thank
you. You too. All right, everybody. Take care. My name is Dr. Lady J. I will see you on Thursday night and then the following Monday. Take care, everybody. Just wanted to let you know that the host of this show appreciates the time that you've spent with them. Now, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with everything that we're doing. And most of all, thank you for tuning in to What Up Baltimore online radio, where the people have the power.